stir. Ew. Alright, we ain't doing that right now. My bad, my bad. Oops. Sorry. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Do not disturb. Got to put the focus on study. Oh, Surdy Mom. What's up, Surdy Mom? Yeah, man. The more we look at it, the more shady it starts to look, right? You know? I'm waiting for my peoples. Where my talking peoples at? Where my join me. Larry Nix, Rudy. Hey man, you know, I'm just doing this today for a lot of people that can't really stay up to date, stay informed, you know what I mean? I got the type of job where I could just sit down and listen to news and updates all day. So I can give you the scoop. I got some good witness accounts. You know, the best accounts that we getting definitely coming from eyewitness accounts. Yeah, so I'm definitely finna play a couple of these clips. And you know, like I say, you know, it's a lot of people probably can't sit down and gather the information. So a lot of times we stuck with information that we getting that ain't good. And we know it ain't good by now. We seen what fake news. We seen what fake news media is about. Oh my goodness. Yes, man. What the hell going on? Yeah, we seen what the fake news media is about. I'm catching all kinds of. And yeah. So it's hard to trust them. So you know, it's good to have some independent things going. And that's what we're here for. We the people. God is good. Here another day just got off. But man, you know, like I said, I got the kind of job where I can sit down and pretty much listen to the news, check out podcasts all day. You know, so I'm just bringing it to the people. How y'all doing? Michelle, how you doing? Your old girl. Let me see your girl Angie. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Kwame, Wanda, how you doing? How you feeling about you know, whether you like Mr. Trump or not, how do you feel about what happened? How do you feel about the temperature in the country? How do you feel about let me get right to some things. I was thinking about, you remember when Donald Trump told in the debate, Donald Trump told Joe, let me see, I got it right here. Joe Biden, how he never fires anybody. It turns out, you know, the new director, the new person in charge of the Secret Service. I mean, come on, man. Are we serious? The new person, come on, man. This got to be a joke. And so, let me move my little thing a little bit so I can make eye contact with my peoples on the YouTubes. This got to be a joke. So the new person in charge of the Secret Service, not my security detail, not Robert De Niro's security detail, but the new person in charge of the president of the United States, or the former president of the United States security detail, and the current president, the new person in charge of the Secret Service, period, is a DEI hire? Are we kidding? In the words of David Harris Jr., are you kidding me? Come on, man. In the words of Joe Biden, come on, man. I don't digress. I don't digress. So, we're not talking about me. We're not talking about the average movie star that goes out and gets some security. We're talking about the Secret Service. The new security. That's crazy. That's crazy that we're putting any president, any figure that is supposed to have Secret Service. Now, I'm not saying who is supposed to have it and who's not, but obviously Joe Biden has it. Obviously Obama has it. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. could have had it, but Joe Biden denied it. So I don't know what that's about, but that's another conversation. I'm talking about not the club. I'm in St. Petersburg where we got a couple of little clubs. Not security of the club, but the Secret Service. We're going to deal with, gee whiz, I didn't know this was a thing. So the Secret Service is dealing with DEI as well. This got to be a joke, man. This got to be a joke. I'm not saying it just because she's a woman. I'm not saying it just because she's a woman. I'm saying it because she got her job simply because she's a woman. Come on. We got to cut that out. Come on, man. If you really think about it, think about this. Riddle me this. Just go with me for a minute. Hey, you know one thing I got to say? This guy, man. This guy's, I got to show it up for the YouTube. This guy's a fighter, man. So imagine this for all of my black folks, for my people, my perspective. Oh, man, I love, if you want to hear some good information, I'm talking about updated, a lot more articulate than myself, to be honest. And I'm all about passing on the information. The black conservative, my brother be bringing it. Candace Owens, obviously. Since some people have a need to be fed by people only because of their skin color, obviously with Joy Reid and Whoopi Goldberg, there are other black people who can talk to you. But anyway, think about this. When Obama was elected, and I don't want nobody to be mad, so I'm gonna just go with it like in real flow time, and I'm not gonna say anything sarcastic. So when Obama was elected, a lot of black people, include myself, we heard it in rap, we heard it in music, we thought, man, they gonna try to kill. Come on, man. We heard it on comedy. We heard it everywhere. We thought what we saw a few days ago was gonna happen to Obama or the attempt. But guess what? The Republicans said, no, we don't play that way. Or the forces that be, either that or maybe Obama went to the agenda. I don't know. But a lot of us thought, period, point blank, straight up and down, they gonna try to kill Obama. Period. Like when I'm keeping it solid, it's like this is, I saw that JD Vance for vice president. I saw that whoever just quoted that. What do you think about that pick? JD Vance is a Marine veteran and Bitcoiner. Hey, that's somebody who knows what's going on with Bitcoin. Joe Biden trying to crush our dreams, man. He don't want us to get none done. That's another thing. People got to respect this thing about Trump. Trump about money. Trump wasn't having no war on cryptocurrency. Now it's like it's a war on cryptocurrency. And Joe Biden is behind it. You got people that don't even want to do business on Cash App now. Straight up. Replied, Billy, it's cool. Oh, damn, it went away. I couldn't see it, Billy. It came a little quick. It came real fast. Type it again for me if you can. Yeah, man, JD Vance, a Marine, a veteran, a Bitcoiner. I think that means a lot. That says a lot. That user is paying attention to what's going on. Man, I'm talking about for poor people in disparaged communities and left out communities, the small people who understood, damn, you telling me I could take $1 or I could take $20 or I could take $25, $100 a week and put it on this thing called Bitcoin, or maybe even go smaller with Ethereum, and I can actually come up? Because if you're doing the math, man, Bitcoin, you've been flipping. Yeah, we've been flipping. Some of us been flipping and we know what's going on, but at the same time, we've seen an attack on it. And so I think that says a lot. Good quote, good post, good comment, user. Yeah, man. So yeah. That is what we felt in our communities. It's like, oh man, like people was everywhere like they better not. They better not, you know what I'm saying? We gonna be ready. They ain't gonna let that happen. We thought some type of way, some evil force, some, you know what I mean, just being honest, white nationalist ideology, some people, some political figures. Obama gotta be careful. They're gonna try to take out the first black, and look what happened. Look what happened. So that tells us something. I'm not gonna dare any. This ain't even about trying to. I'm not even on here to give another black man a black eye, even though he didn't identify so black with us. But I'm just saying something happened to where that never was a thought, and if it was a thought, it didn't come to fruition. Maybe it was because the Republicans didn't liken him to Mussolini, or maybe they didn't liken him to Hitler. They didn't liken him to any of the things that would make people want to do some of the things. And I'm just being honest. The temperature from the media. Oh man, I got some of those. I got a montage of things I want to play. So I'm gonna stop yapping, and I'm gonna let some of the things that I gathered today do some yapping. And because it's important to share. Like I said, a lot of people don't have time, and with the kind of job that I have, I got time today. And it just so happened I just drive. I'm not driving right now, TikTok, so don't do it to me. I'm just talking about my job. Oh man, they always take me up and tell me I did some kind of challenge. It's so crazy. Anyway, so where do we start? Let's start with something with Candace Owens. Her takes on things are always a little bit different, obviously. And yeah. All right, let me turn on my little thingamajiggy here. Wait, that's when you have technical difficulties. See, when you have technical difficulties, you just go ahead and you talk because you already know what you're talking about until you get it right. So anyway, Candace Owens, she is somebody I also highly recommend to listen to. She did some numbers, some breakdowns, and definitely had one of the best witnesses, I think, of this whole thing. He looked like Wes from the Challengers. Anybody know about the Challengers? I think they're coming with did I say that right? The Challenge. Oh man, that's my snap. That's my snap right there. Somebody like the Challenge. I see somebody got the heart going. Yeah, man. I might have said it wrong, but yeah. Woody, I see you. So yeah, man, the Challenge is what's popping. But this guy kind of looked like Wes from the Challenge, and I thought he was one of the better witnesses that we saw give an account of what happened. And man, I love what he had to say. He spoke directly. He spoke directly of being 50 feet away from this guy.
Which FBI members? I'm not saying that there aren't many. Hard-working people in the FBI who get into the FBI because they believe they're serving the American people, but what we do know is at the top, no. Zero. No, at the top, they work for the deep state, and the deep state is working against Trump. Oh, the FBI, are we still waiting for the update, by the way, of who dropped off the pipe bombs on January 5th? No, January 6th wasn't planned by the FBI, guys. They just really are struggling to find out who dropped off those pipe bombs on January 5th, the night before, in the most surveilled city in the entire world, just a couple of blocks away from the White House. Yeah. If you're not buying that story, it's because you're a conspiracy theorist. Let me tell you, if you are not a conspiracy theorist...
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know what she's talking about, right? Pretty Blazing, I love that show. You know about it, Candace Owens. Yeah, a lot of people really don't even know what she's talking about. But I'm going to tell you, really brief. Yeah, I mean, it deserves a little context. But That's what it's about. You don't even know because they don't want to tell you. So mysteriously, you know all about January 6th. But what else happened in January 6th? Mysteriously, on January 5th, pipe bombs were found exactly where Kamala Harris was supposed to be. Nobody talks about the assassination attempt of Kamala Harris. You know why? Because it may have been planned already, pre-planned. You know, the FBI, they got these guys on camera keeping certain people away from a certain area where these bombs so just happen to be found. You know, kids walking by after they saw the tape and did all the surveillance and put it all together. It's amazing. Kids walking by the school, and since they know it's there, obviously, it's kids walking by the bomb to go to school, and the FBI people are sitting right there, and they knew it wasn't a problem. They let them go right by without saying, no, get away, stand back. So this planet bomb that she's talking about had to be something that was already there. And at the same time, when they found it, that is when the security went there. And you don't know why the security that should have been on January 6th, should have been on Capitol Hill, should have been where most of the action went down, wasn't there because they were going to be where this fake bomb threat was. You need to look into that if you don't know about it. And that's what Candace Owens was just alluding to. God whispered in Trump's ear to change his ways. Hey, user, that might not be a bad statement. That might not be a bad statement. You know, it's ironic that people say a lot about God and how it's happening, what's happening, how it's going, who it's going, when it's going. But I know one thing. I said this before. If if that had been a black person in that predicament, if that had been anybody else, probably, not just a black person, but black people would be saying one of our favorite phrases. Look at God. You know, not today. The devil is a liar. And our number one is what God or what the devil meant for evil and bad. God will use it and turn it into good. But not seemingly so these days. Not seemingly so when it comes to Trump. People want to question the ability of God. People wanted to question the ability of, he's not in the blessing business when it comes to Trump, I guess. That is a crazy thing. Something else.
Warfare during the Korean War. They had
Let's see what, I want to get to this this witness that we had.
This type of stuff has been condoned.
Let's get to this montage.
In the media. In fact, they have.
It's my guy, the black conservative.
Radicalizing these individuals to commit these acts of violence, right?
Of course, Trump is a Nazi time again.
Let's deal with Hitler, okay?
I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that. I mean, that is Mussolini, Hitler-like language.
Trump's affinity for Hitler was always covered under an umbrella of his...
It's all of the news.
Echoing Hitler's words.
Listen to this.
Well, Hitler was duly elected.
While echoing the hateful rhetoric of Adolf Hitler.
It echoes Hitler.
That's the kind of language Hitler used in Mein Kampf.
Vermin and Hitler and Mussolini.
That's a horrifying clip. That's a fascist clip. Just going full on Hitler from Hitler's Germany.
We just need to say, for the record, that the term vermin was really effectively used by Adolf Hitler.
Echo dictators like Hitler.
With language evoking authoritarian figures like Adolf Hitler and
Adolf Hitler.
This is our local news that we trust.
Autocratic language of Adolf
I mean, come on,
Hitler.
man.
The brilliance of Hitler's generals.
Correct.
Kelly, yeah.
Now, I know Fox News was pretty brutal on Obama and others. I guess I don't really know a lot of people that was, but even the black community was. Me being in a revolutionary organization and around organizations with progressive plans, I know a lot of people was hard on Obama, but I didn't really hear that kind of language. We probably heard the C word every now and then, but we heard more language, more harsh words from our own people in our own community that felt like he should have done more for us than we did from I mean, I'm talking about now. I'm not saying nobody personally, no white people personally wasn't saying anything negative, but I'm saying they wasn't calling Obama a Hitler or liking him to anything. I remember the Jeremiah, the preacher Jeremiah that they were upset about. That was probably as bad as it got, because I think his name was Jeremiah, but he had some bad things or harsh things on his record that he had said about America, and Obama's attachment to him was probably as bad as comparisons to people got, but they never likened Jeremiah to Hitler. And I'm saying, with that type of rhetoric in the news every day, running on a serious news cycle, yeah, man, that's dangerous. That's crazy. That's like insane, man. I mean, yeah, so this lady, DEI hire, she should be fired. But Joe never fires anybody. Where that's at? Let's see. Joe never fires anybody, man.
Just to go back, the general got fired because he was no good. And if he said that, that's why he made it up. But we have 19 people that said I didn't say it, and they're very highly respected, much more so than him. The other thing is, he doesn't fire people.
He don't fire
He
people.
never fired people. I've never seen him fire anybody. I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI, drained the swamp. They were no good. Not easy to fire people. You'd pay a price for it, but they were no good. I inherited these people. I didn't put them there. I didn't put Comey there. He was no good. I fired him. This guy hasn't fired anybody. He never fires. He should have fired every...
I love it. Because right now, the lady in charge of the Secret Service, who was put in charge recently due to all of this DEI stuff, should be fired. But just like Trump told Joe Biden at the debate a few weeks ago, or whatever, a week and a half ago, he never fires anybody. And he's not going to fire her. His dedication to the DEI programs and his dedication to pander to the black community and to pander to whoever's running the things, whoever's running the show, his dedication to them is more important to his dedication to what he's supposed to be doing. And right now, it's in the news cycle. They've already taken responsibility. This is on the Secret Service. How and a lot of more investigations is going to go on, but they've already said, okay, this on us. We're going to find out how and give you more detail on how, but they've already, she needs the girl, hey, bye-bye, toodaloo, you're fired. She needs to hear that famous phrase. Maybe not like that because they hate Trump, but she needs to hear it. This is a DEI hire, and there's an open, goodness gracious. Not even too long ago, Joe Biden just said we need to have a target on Trump. With all of the rhetoric right now that's been going on, how did this man get on this building undetected? Like really? Like really? I mean, like really. We used to have a song like that in the hood, like really. I mean, like for real. I mean, come on, like let's listen to the people, like really. Like listen to what the people saying. It's like this guy, I love this character, man. Let me get this guy, man. This guy say, man, yeah. You can see it was a gun, a big gun, right on his back. He's crawling. He's bear crawling. I mean, this guy said this guy bear crawled up. Come on, man. Up. Come on, man. I mean, what they doing? What they doing while he doing all of that? What are they doing when he's doing all of that? In my opinion. And this is just my opinion. Let me find this guy, man. This is just my opinion. First of all, I'm going to turn my speaker on. I'm sorry about that. In my opinion, for this guy to know the exact spot that he can go to and be undetected, the only spot. Come on, I don't want to get hurt either. Come on, man, but y'all know what time it is. The only spot I mean, for real, like the only spot. Oh man, that's crazy. God bless you and the family, Pedro Lopez. I appreciate that. Dang, I repented of my sins. I accept Jesus Christ as my Savior. Now the Holy Spirit is in control. That's what's up, Pedro. Amen. Yeah, man, that's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, the only spot. Yeah. Listen to my guy here. Oh, man, come on. What is this guy? This guy the best right here. Oh, it's JB Flip. Is that it? Oh, my goodness. Okay, Bluetooth off. This guy right here the best. We gotta hear him.
Arm, you know, bear crawling up the rally, right? We couldn't and watch the
This is the best guy.
rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know, but we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he
crazy.
had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle.
Sandy Brewer.
And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up
you
there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see.
Listen to this.
But why is there not?
That's very key to me. This guy said, the man asked him, did he think the Secret Service could see the guy on the roof? Even though they could see him, he said, probably not. Because this guy knew to hide on a certain slope on the roof where the Secret Service, who was also on a roof, probably could not see him. I'm going to rewind it. That's key to me. Where's Sandy Brewer? Sandy Brewer just made an awesome comment. That's important. I mean, like, out of all of the spots, he knew the one spot. He knew the one spot to hide. I'm going to rewind that. Just a little bit.
Behind where they... The whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way from the top of the barn, they were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
It's not a big place.
I mean, obviously, everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was...
Carl said an interesting comment. It's crazy.
Yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, we just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen? Yep.
Yeah. It's amazing how guys like Carl can still feel like this was a setup. Man. Sad. It's sad. It's crazy. It's crazy. My friend Carl, I'm not ridiculing you. It's just really crazy when people come with these things and these thoughts and these ideas. I understand this. I understand that it's great to question things. I do. I do it myself. I question everything. But what I'm saying is, when Tupac was killed, people, whatever your opinion is, there were some people who actually wanted to start at first saying, oh, it was set up by Suge Knight, the guy who also got shot in the head, grazed in the head. I mean, that's probably not the guy who said, hey, come shoot in the car while I'm in the car. By the way, hit me in the head. It probably did not happen that way. My friend Carl, I doubt Trump set up his own shooting. You just heard the account. That is why I played it. It is always good to get on the ground footage or an account. That's what makes these cell phones better than the garbage BS media that we have serving America. So, Carl, let's go over what you just said. That's good. Say DiGiorno says he's voting for Biden. That's what's up, my brother. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. So, imagine what you just said, and then imagine what you just heard. Now, obviously, you want to hear truth or you don't. What I just heard was a man who said we were on the ground pointing, alarming the cops, alarming the Secret Service. We see him. He knows we see him. Now, the rest of that is, if you're trying to take a shot like that, it's a little bit, that's probably where the miss came from. Obviously, this had God written all over it. People don't want to say that because it's Trump, but this had God written all over it. So many different things happen. But by those people alarming the cops and making this guy rush to take that shot, and also, like somebody said, the turn of the head, the chart. If anybody has been paying attention to the footage, you know that there was a chart that Trump likes to put up. A lot of us didn't see it because you don't know what he turned for. So I'm going to let you know what he turned for. We saw Trump make the turn. And I just want to say this is the chart that saved Trump's life, besides the writing of God. I mean, it was just awesome. And so you can see some cell phone footages and different accounts where when he turned, what he was pointing at was a chart to explain the amount of people that has come across the border. And it was a chart on the Jumbotron. By him trying to explain it to the people and getting the people to look over there, that was that turn that you saw. And as we all will be, as we know, something that will be documented for the rest of history, that is the turn that saved Trump's life. But I say that to say, yes, Dominic, 2 people lost their lives. I don't understand how some people can actually come to a conclusion of this being some type of fake. People said BB guns, and one thing that I noticed, the guy that was asking the eyewitness questions, one thing he asked, which was a good question, was he 100% positive that the shots came from that guy? And he said, yeah. He said 100%, absolutely. Like a soldier. JJ Ella. What's up, my brother? Good to see you. Millions of kids. Oh, there it is. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. Well, that's a good question. I mean, obviously, it's not really a good question. You're asking me. So a lot of people could actually answer this question for my brother. So the question is, it's a good statement and a question. So the brother wants to know. He made a statement. It says millions of kids die every day, which is a very true statement. And you say God wanted to save Trump. Well, and my response to that, my brother, is I dare say nothing. I dare say, look at the evidence. I dare say, turn on your news. I dare say, the RNC convention just started, and Trump is there in person. He's not in the morgue. So, you're asking me, did I say God wanted to save Trump? Well, I can tell you this. He's alive and well. And so, you figure that out on your own, brother. But if you got a problem figuring it out, then you ain't black. No pun intended, my brother JJ Ella. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, hey. You asking me. I'm not the judge. I'm just going by what we saw. How many people do you know come on, man. Look at all of the things that had to happen for this guy to miss this shot. People on the ground snitching on him. Hey, somebody on the roof with a gun. You know? So this dude got rushed on his shot. Everybody questioning, people saying stuff like he wasn't a good shot. I mean, yeah, he did miss. So the criticism is, you got one black guy, he got fired. I'm glad he got fired. What was this guy? Wow, he a DEI hire as well. But he made some statements about the only thing was wrong was he missed. And he got fired. And that's good. That's real good. But yeah, man, it's like, man, you seen it for yourself. So it's not like I went out there and saved him. I was none of the brave Secret Service men that jumped on his head and jumped around him and was willing to take other shots that we know other people took. We know for a fact. I'm going to tone it down because I really get a little passionate about these things. When people just want to make crazy statements, howdy from New York, crazy rebel I like it. I like it. Yeah, man. The shot was on target. Trump moved his head at the right moment. Well, hey, listen. I like what you're saying, brother. Joe Hoover, bro, there's no way the Secret Service will allow anyone to get that close without checking every angle. Joe Hoover is picking up not only what I'm putting down today, but Joe Hoover is actually picking up what he's putting down himself and what he's hearing from the right people and just common sense. Come on, man. That's a real statement right there. You don't even have to be for Trump. I don't even have to ask this guy, does he like Trump? But I like him. You know why? Because I like anybody that's honest enough to keep it real. It's people that come on here and say, I don't like Trump, but I'm going to tell you something, man. This and that, this and that, this and that. I'm still voting for Joe, but this and that, this and that, this and that. Come on, man. Let's keep stuff solid, bro. Bankman, Kentucky, here for Trump. Hey, look here. I'm glad you brought it up. Hey, CJJ, I'm going to tell you something, bro. I'm going to tell you something. You ain't going to like this, but the more I see, it's people like you, and I'm saying this in a good way, brother. Feel good about it. Embrace yourself. Embrace this, my brother. The more I read of your comments, the more I understand and I feel like you really like Trump. It's a little Trump and you really, let him out. Let him out. He's fighting to come out. It is a little Trump and he's fighting to come out, man, and you holding him back. Let him out. Let me out, Joe. JJ Ella, let me out. I can help you. I can help you see the future. I can help you see how your mind has been detained, JJ Ella. Excuse me. Your mind has been detained. You need to get together. What do you got to lose? Come on. What do you have to lose? Come on. Be a fighter like me, JJ. I'm witnessing a fighter. Where I come from, we call fighters comrades. I just realized Trump is my comrade. My comrade. My brother. So, what was I saying? So, anyway, you're asking me, am I saying God wanted to save Trump? So, I don't think you've been paying attention. Yeah. So, and then the series of events. And so, I don't know where you're from. Dang, Barbara Johnson said, am I even registered to vote? All right. So, I don't know where you from, JJ Ella, but normally, no matter where you from, we see something like that, and it's like you're sitting wherever you are. I'm just gonna assume it wasn't in Pennsylvania. I'm gonna guess it probably wasn't in Pennsylvania. So you didn't save him. I'm just go out on a limb and say that we didn't save him. I'm in Florida. I had nothing to do with saving him. I saw some Secret Service guys who was awesome on their job. But there is things that they call a series of events. And a series of events, when you have a guy snitching on you, when you have several people telling on you, and you trying to take a perfect shot at somebody who is one of the most important people in the world, a man who is supposed to have Secret Service detail, something that is going to automatically get you killed. Let me tell you something. I think if this guy would have had the chance, he would have actually tried to do that, throw away his rifle. I mean, not throw it away, but get rid of it and do what they've been doing. Go ahead and get arrested and be a, some type of hero. That didn't get a chance to happen. Why? Why was he silenced so fast? I don't know. Anyway, that's just a thought that popped up. Sorry about that. And so, user 27 and a whole bunch of numbers. President Biden 2024. I care nothing about Trump, says JJ Ella. If he was a Democrat and Biden was a Republican, I'd vote for what? Wait a minute. Man, brother, I can't even believe you said that, man. I can't even believe you would have the courage to type that in this feed, man. I can't even believe you got your face and your name up. You must don't have a lot of fans that actually know who you are. And I'm not criticizing you. I'm just reading your statements like I try to do with a lot of people. But I want to be real serious and particular about what you just said. And I want to make sure I read it again because I'm getting older. I can make a mistake. My brother JJ Ella, who's been preaching to me time and time about how horrible Trump is, how Trump is a threat to democracy, how racist, how bad Trump is. How no. I'm blind for even talking good about Trump. I'm this, I'm that. This guy has now typed in, I'm thinking you having a problem with your fingers or something. Are you having spasms? Are you texting? All right. Your comment is telling me I care nothing about Trump. If he was Democrat and 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 Biden was 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 Republican, I'd vote VOTE for Trump. I had to make sure I had to say it right and end it with the right face to make sure that was a question mark. But it's a question mark only to me. You just made a statement, my brother. You just said you vote for Trump if he was a Democrat. Wow. I knew it. I'm going to welcome you, my brother. I'm going to go ahead and welcome you. I'm going to forgive you. Trump just chose, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. That's what makes a man. Everybody thinks Trump's an ass kisser. He just chose J.D. Vance. If anybody know about J.D. Vance had some harsh criticisms for Trump. But he also came out and said, well, I was wrong. The best president ever. But harsh criticisms. So, my brother, you just pulled a J.D. Vance, and I'm going to welcome you secretly. I know you want to still stay on the low, and obviously the country has no problem with people being on the low. You can stay in the closet, but right now in this country, you can come out of the closet. And guess what? In this country, my friend, you don't just have to like Trump. You don't just have to let the little Trump and you out. But guess what? JJ Ella, you can be Trump. You can wake up tomorrow morning, go get you a little thing like Joy Reid. You seen Joy Reid wigs? This lady hate Trump. Oh, this lady can't stand Trump. Secretly, I think she love him. No disrespect to Melania. I think this lady really fantasizes about Donald Trump, man. I mean, have you seen her wig collection? Come on, man. She got a few wigs that make her look just like Trump. Y'all know. Yes. My brother, I'm glad you let it out, man. I'm glad you said it, man. Don't it feel good? Wow. I'm witnessing. Man, I feel good, man. You know what? I'm going to tell you something, bro. Everybody on the feed can disappear. Knowing that we just brought you over. Knowing that I just saw an admittance like none other. I'm not even going to read I don't even want to read your next comment because I don't want you to try to clean that up. I want you to really feel good. Go to sleep with that. You know, pat yourself on the back. Hey, and I'm going to be honest with you. Your children will love you more. They'll trust you more. Because you're actually at some point, but you're still making a mistake because that tells me you're married to the Democrat Party. So it's still an error. But I wanted to celebrate the small Trump in you that you just let out. But we got to get this thing right about this marriage to the Democrats because that's still no good. And so, therefore, you're basically saying, I'll never vote for Trump because Trump is not going to run on the agenda of the Democrat Party. So that's not going to happen. So, but what you did, you know, I don't know if you know about psychology, and I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but I tend to think I am sometime. And you, my brother, you just let out a big relief. You just let out a small secret that you've been fighting. And you're very eloquent with some of your things. You're just wrong. So we need people like you who are not afraid to admit, I like Trump. He's just in the wrong party. So all you got to do now is battle that thing that has you married to the Democrat Party. And stop calling me a sellout and realize that you're the one married to the Democrat Party. All right? I'm glad you admitted that, my brother. That's great. That's great. My people who've been following me for a little bit, ooh, they know I got some people that be in love with the lips in a bad way. They tell me about the chapstick. So I got a tube right here. And I got some water. 21 new messages. I'm not going to read JJ's, all right? He's going to try to cop out on us. He's going to try to back out on us. And we want him to stay welcomed. We want him to still, feel the love. Everybody, can people in the feed right now say, welcome JJ Ella? Can y'all welcome the good brother? Y'all welcome the good brother. Welcome, 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 welcome. And so I see a couple of a new 100 people just may have joined. I do want to say this. My friend has just had a breakthrough. He has been getting on me about, all kind of sellout issues, all kind of, different issues about how Trump is so horrible, how Trump is so bad, how Trump is this, how Trump is that, how can I even speak good for Trump one time, how all this stuff. And he has just had a breakthrough, and he slipped just a little bit. Just a little bit, he slipped and said if Trump was a Democrat, he'd vote for Trump. But he also said if Trump was a Democrat and Joe was a Republican, he'd vote for Trump. That means you don't like Joe. You only like the party. And that's saying something. That's saying two different things. Anyway, yeah, man, that's what we got to conquer. We got to conquer our love to the Democrat Party, point blank, period. All right, so let's get back to the rationale on how can this happen. We heard the testimony of the standard buys. So we're not going to go by Phil, who's in Chicago, or a guy in Florida, blazing in Florida, wherever else, Kiana Young, Florida. We're not going to take these guys' account. I only want to hear from people who was in Pennsylvania and right there. And that guy said, we saw him, and for 2 minutes, we alerted the authorities. We were trying. The authorities probably should have got the message a little bit before they did. But you heard the message. Come on, man. We heard it. Let me play it again. I'm going to play it again. I want to play it again. Can I play it again? Let me see.
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
I want to play this guy again. I mean, you know, he got a great character anyway, so why not play him again? Let's play him again.
You know, but we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, we're pointing.
50 feet,
We're pointing at the
not
guy
500
crawling up
miles.
the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle.
Clearly see him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots rang out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%.
100%.
100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up
you
there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
I love what he said. I thought one of the most important things that he said to me, I see a lot of nice little horrible comments. I mean, somebody could say I'm being an Uncle Tom from playing accounts. That is the definition of an Uncle Tom right there. Stockholm Syndrome type mentality. So anyway, I thought one of the most important things that he said was the angle this guy knew to go in. Straight out, the guy asked him, could the Secret Service see this man, see the shooter? And he said, probably not, because he was behind a slope on the roof. He knew the one spot he could hide. And so I just say, hey, I like that, JJL. I like it. Have your opinion, but you told on yourself today. And see, now you're feeling dumb and you want to criticize me. Oh, man, that's sad. That's sad, my brother. I welcomed you. See, you spoke your feelings and you typed it. And that's what happens. Twitter fingers get feelings. And that's what shouldn't happen. So many people got in their feelings because they didn't like the way Trump would get on Twitter and fight. They didn't like the way Trump would get on Twitter and talk to the people. They wanted to control everything. So people like JJ. Anyway, yeah, the one spot. So I agree with a lot of people what they're saying in the feed. Somebody dropped the ball. Some people feel like some people feel, I don't know how they're coming to that conclusion with Trump would set up his own shooting. And at the same time, as much as this man has talked about loving people, would risk some of his Secret Service, some of his law enforcement. Trump don't care. He really don't play about the law enforcement. I think that's one thing that's been made loud and clear. He loves law enforcement. So when I say law enforcement, I mean the Secret Service detail that played their part that was around him directly. All Secret Service details, judging by a lot of things I heard today, got different areas, different duties and different jobs, different positions to be in. The people who were on the stage to guard Trump, they did their thing. They did their thing, man. Yeah. And so somebody dropped the ball. But for you to think that had to come from the side of Trump would mean that you would think that Trump has more power than Joe Biden's Secret Service detail. So either way it go, brother, none of what you're saying, it may sound good, and that's what I was just saying. Get out your feelings. use your rationale, calm down, drink your little bit of tea, hit a blunt, if that's what you like, and really think about it. You're sitting here trying to sell, and it make you feel better. Doug, rationale, great statement. Exactly. I'm speaking to somebody who feels like somehow Trump set up his own thing. And I'm just trying to, real coolly, it's cool, because he may have said it thinking this and believing it to be true. He may have heard somebody else say it. And so I don't say it to argue with my friend who said that earlier. I can't even recall the name, but I just want to let you in and look at it this way. For your rationale to be good, and I just thought of this, this is just God feeding me. For your rationale to be good, that means Trump's small Secret Service detail, the few people that he would have to trust, has more control than the full actual Secret Service detail that Joe Biden had in duty, that is there to do their job. You're saying somehow Trump overrode all of that. And that's almost impossible. That's almost impossible. That logic, though somebody could have said it to you, it just don't make sense, and it's impossible. And so the Secret Service definitely dropped the ball, but it couldn't have came in the way that you're saying, because that would say the Secret Service is totally horrible. I mean, that would be a definite black eye than just some person who was hired by DEI. By the way, this lady's job was at Pepsi. She was also, I don't want to give her a black eye because it's not her fault, and it sounds like she had a good career. She worked for the CIA before, or the FBI. I think it was the CIA. And so it's not like she had no experience. But the CIA, working at the CIA, and then, having a career at Pepsi Cola or Coca-Cola, doesn't give you the experience, the knowledge, it don't give you the experience to be over. Not to be on, not to work for Secret Service, but to be over. How did this happen? Man, damn that, man, we can't put DEI. It needs to cease, man. We can't put that type of pressure on not only spots like that, my brother. You could call it what you want. We don't want it in our schools. Bro, we don't want the worst teachers going to school to teach our kids. Let's step out of the politics just for a minute. This stuff is failing us in other areas. And so to find out that this is a DEI hire who's put in charge of the Secret Service agency because she's a woman, that's not cool, man. That's not cool. Y'all can say what you want. Trump, overall, is a great man. That comes from Harriet T. Both of you, eyes is black since birth. Okay, yep. All right. It was surely a setup by Biden. Comes from Alicia. Doug says, I agree. Yeah, man. It's just, hey. I mean, I don't know why. It's funny. I don't know how a lot of people are not worried about it. I mean, it just seems like to me when this type of stuff, when the gloves get down, they say taking off the gloves. And, before they took them all the way off, they got them down to UFC type gloves. Shout out to the UFC. Dana White will be speaking at the convention. But when they start talking about that, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't even know how we can actually, really not even be concerned about it. Why do I say that? If we're looking at, I just saw somebody earlier, I'm trying my best not to read the feed, so I apologize for people that I'm missing that I normally pay so much attention to. Almost another JFK from Doug, that's right. But what I tend to do is I get too passionate about it, and my friends tell me, don't do that. Don't lose your cool. Don't pay attention to them. That is the distraction that they're learning from fake news media and their Democrat friends. These are the robot heads, and that's what they're here for, a distraction. So I might be missing some comments, but it's with purpose, and I'm sorry. But I am catching a lot of them too. Joe Hoover. Well, yeah, Joe Hoover. Have you ever been shot at? I don't know what color you are. I don't know what neighborhood you're from, what kind of culture you got. I've been around gunshots, man. I'm not going to stand there. I'm not. You know what? A lot of people can look at it how they want to look at it. But it's different when you're in those shoes. And this man has fought against so much. You know, we don't like to admit it, but Russia. You know, the phone call. The him in love with Vladimir. Him in love with Kim Jong-un. Him in love with Netanyahu. Whatever his name is in Israel. With him just being everything he wasn't. And this man has went through all of these accusations, and yeah, some people are going to want to throw in the feed that, okay, he was found guilty about the 34 counts. I'll give you that for now. Soon you'll probably be crying like a lot of people in Florida today. By the way, another victory. Look at this, man. I'm going to just say what black people usually say. Look at God. Ooh. Another Supreme Court victory. Actually, this didn't even have to go to Supreme Court. So if you may have missed it, like I know a lot of people, like I say, y'all probably have different jobs, can't get up on everything. And if you do, by the time you can get to watch it, it's coming from the news, who we've learned we can't trust. So I just do this for the people. I got a job where I can sit down and listen to stuff all day, podcasts all day, and actually record and check out the evidence, do some research, and bring it to you. So for those who may have missed it, Trump also had another victory today in Florida. Go ahead, say it, black people. Look at God. Won't he do it? Mm-hmm. I mean, we say it any other time. Any other time we see these type of blessings come, man, we say, won't he do it? Won't he do it? Look at God. John, thank you. Sometimes getting shot can be like a deer in headlights, especially if you're caught off guard. Well, you know what? You're right. But I'm going to tell you something, man. I saw a guy that's been hurt. He's been warned. God is good. Pretty blazing. That's right. I mean, even for people that's been listening to me, and I'm very small. I'm just a little blip. They know I've said the same thing. Because it's like victory after victory after victory. Every time he got another victory, I say, man, every time this guy get a victory, it was almost good. It was almost good, just almost, when the sham trial turned out to be guilty. And I'm going to just say why. It wasn't really good because it was horrible. But I'm saying the reason why I said that is because we and people who are really paying attention, a lot of people had already started to fear. If this guy walk away from this trial in New York, if one person in New York can prove that they had the fortitude, y'all know what I almost said, and it shouldn't have been offensive according to the way things are going today, right? But anyway, if one person on that jury could have proved they had the fortitude to say not guilty, and Trump would have walked away from that New York trial, then it would have been like, whoa, this guy's unstoppable. And these kind of thoughts and these kind of threats started seeming to come and become louder and louder and louder. So when he became guilty, and we knew what New Yorkers, I'm not gonna say all New Yorkers because we saw what happened at the Bronx with the rally, but we knew by the way they picked that jury in the jurisdiction it was in, most of the time, we knew 9 out of 10 that the New York people on that jury was gonna prove us right, and they found them guilty. And you know, for some people, like myself, to be totally honest, I was like, whoo, It's probably a good thing they found him guilty because now they won't try to unalive him. Wow. That was just thought. Because the guilty verdict meant maybe, possibly, just a little bit, we could slow him down. But guess what? The people kept speaking. And the people kept saying, we're not buying the BS anymore. And he got stronger. And then the Supreme Court made a statement against Judge Merchan and all of the BS that was going on across the nation with the war on Trump. And the Supreme Court spoke the same way the judge in Florida spoke. No more documents case. Bye-bye, Jack. Jack, you embarrassed yourself. If you've been paying attention to me, you know that I spoke of, what's that guy name that was on Congress? And he got grilled about appointing Jack Smith as a special counsel without the power to do so. And I had all kind of Democrats, Demobots, J.J. Ellis, all kind of fools telling me, oh, he could appoint him. He could appoint him. He had the power to do it. Well, guess what? Turns out he didn't. Supreme Court said, not Supreme Court, I keep saying that because Trump keep getting these victories in Supreme Court, but the judge in Florida has spoken. Another victory. Win, 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 win. Win, 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 win. Win, 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 win. I mean, like, really? The more I see them good hating statements, that make me celebrate more. Some people don't like success. John Bach, you're definitely right, man. I mean, that's why I speak of the Stockholm Syndrome, and people really hate to hear me say that. They be like, man, you sound stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. That don't have nothing to do with it. I mean, it do a little bit. It do a little bit. Stockholm. What happened in Stockholm? A bank robbery, a robbery where people were held captive. What did they do? What did the people that were held captive do? What did they do? They fell in love with their captors. They started liking the treatment. They spoke well of the treatment. In this regard, who are the captors? Who are the people detaining us, holding us back from what is called the American dream? Even the real thought of it. It's the Democrat Party. In this case, they're the captors. And people get mad at you if you actually tell the truth and say, hell no, I ain't have a good time. No, it wasn't good in there. It wasn't sweet. No, I am not speaking good of what just happened. No, I'm testifying for the truth. And yeah, they get mad at you if you say that. They want you to actually say what they're trying to say I'm saying. They want you to actually say, yes, sir, massa. It's been great on this plantation. It's been great building this nation and being still treated like a pawn. It's been great being used as a voting pawn and then being left behind. It's been great being sold the American dream just to watch the true American dream get handed out to people that just jumped the gate or walked through a gate, found the right hole through a gate, maybe swim the river, however they got here. And listen, I'm not knocking them. I am somebody who believes if they open up what seems to be the greatest country in the world and tell you to come, I can't blame you for coming. I have to blame it on the people that are saying spit on the immigration laws. I got to blame it on the administration. I can never blame it on the people that are coming. I got friends. My good friend Pedro, many, but Pedro is my good friend. I've done work all over the country with Pedro from Nicaragua. He's a teacher now in the United States. We do work all the time for the community, for the people. And so I have no plight with the people that take off for that American dream. And if you tell me, if I'm over there in what seems to be like horrible conditions, wherever, and I get sold the opportunity that this administration has sold, I'm going to come too. Especially when they tell me I can get treated better than the average citizen. Especially when they tell me I don't even have to work as hard as my forefathers who came into the country and picked all the oranges and got looked at as a fifth class citizen. You mean to tell me, actually what they're doing is they're breaking down the pride of a lot of these workers. They're going to break a good tradition of, a work ethic that some of these people have. I'm telling you, the Democrat Party, I'm just like thinking of this in real time. Consider this. And I know I was talking about Trump. I'm going to get back to that. Consider this. They're calling them in, and they're doing the same thing they did with us with the food stamps and all of that. They're crippling some of their culture. Don't worry about working. We got cards for you. Now, I'm not saying all of them are going to jump on that opportunity, but why not? This is similar to what they did in California with the high-rise building for the homeless. Man, what's going on, man? The Democrats done lost their minds. And I don't understand how other black people can get on this feed and challenge any other black person because they say they are finally listening to the song, Stay Up. Stay woke, man. I mean, the real woke. Not that new garbage that they somehow took our lingo like they so often do. They take certain words and take control of them and then tell you it means something different. And now, to be woke is either an insult or it's some new Democrat agenda. And it ain't good. It ain't good. It ain't good, it ain't good, it ain't good, baby, it ain't good. Hey, yeah, it ain't good, it ain't good, it ain't good, baby, it ain't good. Yeah, J.J. Eller, you like that? That brother said he'll vote for Trump. And now he mad at me. Dang, that's sad. You told on yourself, brother. You don't even deserve to make no more comments in the feed. All right, so Alicia says, never understand when Trump was president why he didn't take away the media. Wow. Alicia, that's a very good comment. And I'm finna make J.J. Eller and a lot of other people really mad. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. The truth of the matter is, when you think about it, Alicia, I'm sure you'll agree. A lot of people will. But you're right. But if he would have did that, then that would be spitting on our freedom of speech. And that's what the Democrats are doing. So even though he knew how dangerous the media had become, even though he knew the media had the power to do devastating things as it had done to him, he still said, I am not going to be the dictator that they tried to say I was going to be. I am not going to be some ruler that they tried to say I was going to be. I am not going to attack institution after institution. As a matter of fact, I'm going to cut regulations to make people operate better. But in the case of the media, in some ways, we could say we wish he did, but then that also affect you and I's ability to also talk. So to also communicate, to also do a lot of things. So that would also fall up under another umbrella with social media. And so it is dangerous how they're able to actually lie and not be held accountable. It's very dangerous and it's sad, but that's what we have. But fortunately, we also have social media. And so, look at what Mark Zuckerberg just did. Imagine this. Before, I want to say before the shooting. Mark Zuckerberg just took Trump out of jail for Facebook. So now, after all of this time, that's how much control. So it is those things that he didn't want to do it. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Imagine how much, after all of this time, how much organizing, pedophiles and child trafficking, woman trafficking. Imagine how many things have been organized over these platforms, meta platforms. And you're telling me that the former president, who was somewhat somehow, suspended, deemed to some type of fake news and, what they call misinformation. And then we find out all of the misinformation was coming from them. But he got suspended, taken off by none other than Mark Zuckerberg. And he left him off for all of these years. Years! Even one of the reasons why Twitter, somebody tell me. One of the reasons why Elon Musk bought Twitter is for the people. I mean, that's it. Twitter was failing. I had stock in Twitter. I pulled it out. I kind of wish I wouldn't have, but but bottom line is, Elon Musk picked up it was failing. So his main reason for buying it was really for the people. He said it. His whole battle was about this control of information, this real control and domination of information. Yeah, you're right, Jeff Brown. He has Truth Social. Now Trump has Truth Social, where he can lie and make up stuff. You're right. You are definitely right. Most of the things, but the thing about this is, I'm not going to say how bright that comment is. There are not a lot of Democrats on Truth Social. And so Trump still needs to be on Facebook, on TikTok, on Twitter, as Elon Musk realized, and he did, because that was the right thing to do. As soon as he bought Twitter and changed it to X, he didn't even wait till he changed. He asked the people. He did a poll, I remember, and asked the people, should he reinstate Trump? Overwhelmingly, yes, and he did. And so, and he just made a substantial contribution to the Trump campaign. So these are people that are not lining up, that are not they don't have a history of siding with Trump. These are not people coming out saying, I agree with Trump. I'm standing in Trump's corner. These are people just saying Trump is the best guy right now, or at least the trajectory of the Republican Party versus the spiral of the Democrat Party. That's all. And so, that's it. I don't know why would somebody have a problem with that. I don't know. So, Musk made a big mistake with Twitter. Jeff Brown statement. Musk ruined Twitter. They are broke. They are losing billions. Well, hey. Mark Zuckerberg has liabilities. One thing I'm saying is Mark Zuckerberg definitely I didn't want to get into too much. I don't know a lot about the guy. I know he did go to Joe Rogan and confessed and said how the FBI came to him personally and made sure that he was down with controlling the truth, not letting the truth get out there, and deeming the laptop as misinformation. And lately, he just over the last few days reinstated Trump's presence on Facebook. That's kind of crazy. Like I said, over these years that Trump has not been able to be on Facebook, imagine how many kids has been organized to be harmed, trafficked, sexually assaulted. Women, same things. Or even go to a bigger scale with all of the terrorists that have been documented and on record now coming through this wide open border. Yeah, man. It's kind of crazy. How could a shooter get that close? Man. Anybody like Denzel? Inside Man? It was a good movie. It's a good movie, man. Inside Man. Joe, you never fire anybody, Joe. This guy never fires anybody. Why am I bringing that up? This is the time that somebody needs to be fired. That's how you show a little bit of accountability. That's how you show a little bit of, I knew nothing about this at all. This lady needs to be held accountable. And by the way, when it comes to the Secret Service, or when it comes to, I mean, come on, man. We don't need DEI hires, period. But I'm just shocked that this extended to the highest office and politically in the world. You know, some would argue that, but I'm just saying politically. I'm not saying the highest office to me. The highest office politically in the world when it comes to our physical nature. Not higher than God, not higher than your belief system, but the highest office. Yeah, man, that office. We thought this would happen. I know people that thought, and I know millions of people that thought this would happen between 2008 and 2012. Not so much 2012 and 2016, but definitely between 2008 and 2012. And look at it. It happened under Trump. I mean, not under Trump, but against Trump. And like, why? Like, I mean, we're not talking about the jail charges, the guilty charges, a mad Judge Merchan and people, just can't stand this. I mean, we're talking about a real headshot, unalive situation. Like, really? What? For real? Like, did I miss something that he did? Did he say something that I missed? And that's still not a reason. Like, really, come on, man. Like, come on. Wow. Yeah. Musk made a big mistake with Twitter. I already said that. Let me see. I think more people are starting to see that. United we stand. John, good comment. Thank you for recognizing. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we do, man. That's what we do. No, thank you for joining. And it's not about agreeing with me, but the comments and the things that you're saying lets me know that you see it as well. And so we're just two people talking. And it just so happened that a few more people in the comments agree. And I appreciate it because it lets me know that I'm not crazy. And it lets me know that divorcing the Democrat Party, the control that they have over the minds of some people is crazy. It is so strong. It's so strong that they will get mad at you when you start actually adding and doing math and coming up with the actual answers to the problems. You know, they want to sit down and still do algebra on everything. PEMDAS. PEMDAS. Yeah, PEMDAS. What the hell is PEMDAS? Please excuse my dear. What is the rest? Answer. But I know so many other people who could do those same problems in different ways, and they wanted to take their time. All it seemed like algebra did to me is made things harder. Yeah, I'll admit it. But that's what it is. That's what it is. The Democrats, the J.J. Ellers of the world, they love it to be complicated. They like algebra on everything. They need it to be explained all the time. When Republicans or conservative people start saying something about the Constitution needs to be looked at, some things has to change. The federal government has gotten too big. They say, "Oh no, we need control." No, Massa. We need more government control. That is absolutely crazy. I mean, I'm telling you, man. Some people don't even realize what they're asking for. But let's get back to Trump. Yeah, man. The chart with the crisis, the border crisis. The chart. It was a jumbotron. God saved Trump. You know, that was his angel. His angel was there that day. there was a lot of things a series of events that played a role in the way God did this thing. A lot of things played a serious role in the way God did this great thing right in front of everybody's faces. That chart about the migrants and about, the border crisis with how many people have definitely come into the country. When we saw Trump make that turn, it was in reference for the people to look at that chart. And that, my friends, was one of the interventions that God used to save his life. KRS-One, that's it. That's all. Solo, single, no more, no less. Anybody know about KRS-One? Shout out to KRS-One. Yeah, man. That's it. KRS-One. Chuck D, Public Enemy. Spike Lee. What do these people have in common? First person put it in the feed, get a gift. I'm going to send it to you. If you send your address, first of all, you have to pay for the postage, and I'm being serious. If you trust me to pay for the postage, your gift can be, I used to do Amazon. And I hate to admit it, but I just wasn't, I probably, sometimes the climate has changed and things. I probably wasn't so feet to the ground. I ain't like it. Actually, I did like it, but I didn't. I did, but I didn't. Anyway, so long story short, I still have tons of these gifts, of these boxes, of these items. And so I'm gonna start giving out gifts to the people on the live. Yeah, man, that's what we're gonna do. I need to get rid of that stuff, man. I don't need to hold on to it. It ain't doing me no good. I'm not gonna, you can't even. I just can't see myself doing it no more. I tried eBay, and ironically, eBay challenged me. I felt like it was racist. Yeah, I mean, it was straight up racist, man. Straight up. eBay said, let us get a receipt of where you bought that stuff from. Stop his sales right now. No, this guy's making money. This guy's coming out here with a private business, and we don't know him. We don't know where he's getting all of this stuff. Stop him. Shut him down until he shows us receipts. Sorry, not a problem. Receipts right here. Receipts. That's not good enough. We don't want your presence on here anymore. Wow. I tried to get an attorney. I was just another black victim crying racism. And so I just thought it was bad. Another black eye for America. Another black eye, but another actual realization for me. But anyway, so I have all of this stuff. Gets in the way. Trying to get rid of it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start having some contests. Damn, these past few days has been wild. Yes. Because it was a setup. Let me see what Alicia is saying. Let me get back. Oh, okay. JJ Ella is talking to John. He loves power and money. Don't get it twisted. Okay. It was a setup. That's why he was able to get close. I'm with Alicia on that. Last few days has been crazy. Alicia said, I agree. John says, thank you for recognizing the crisis. United we stand. Did I? Oh, okay. Dems, obviously. Yeah, man. Tap in, man. Some things are just obvious, and it don't make sense trying to stay in denial about it. Stay in denial. We got to stay out of denial. We got to feel good about these things when we say them. And if it's the truth, hey, man, you got to say it, and you got to say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. That's right. Say it with your chest. Let me see.
Wins an election, our country will end, our democracy will end. It's the last election we'll ever have. These things have consequences, okay? I don't know what the motivations of the shooter are. I don't know any of the details, but I know the rhetoric around Trump.
You heard that? All of that rhetoric around Trump has consequences. They do. You can't call somebody Hitler every day and think somebody in the world not going to think he's Hitler, especially when you got people like Joe Biden, the president of the current president, saying statements like, we got to get a target on Trump. And as you might have heard me speak about it on a podcast, Charlemagne, the boy with another co-host, saying that Trump should indeed be unalived. Like flat out. I mean, so, what? Yeah, nobody was supposed to get that close. Nobody at all. If you ask me, I really question whether he should even be doing rallies right now with the threats that he's been hearing. But just like this guy said, with that type of language, something's bound to happen.
Extreme. You mentioned some other violence. But it's the last election over the last few weeks that if he wins an election, our country will end, our democracy will end. It's the last election we'll ever have. These things have consequences, okay? I don't know what the motivations of this shooter are. I don't know any of the details, but I know the rhetoric around Trump has grown extreme.
Extreme.
You mentioned some other violence. You didn't mention the Supreme Court.
That's another thing. For my Republican friends, I have Democrat friends as well, but people like JJ Ella, the Democrat friends, they are on some type of message board to where they all receive the same information at once. And they love to bring up January 6th. That's all I hear about. And they love to bring up, Trump stoked some type of violence. That's questionable. I don't really know what they're talking about. But the thing they don't mention is people like, Steve Scalise. This guy was attacked as well. A Supreme Court justice. An attack on his life as well. Because Democrats, the great Maxine Waters, push up on them. Get in their face. But nobody put them in jail. I mean, man, that's crazy. It's crazy.
You didn't mention the Supreme Court. Attempted murder of a Supreme Court justice, or the congressional baseball game where Steve Scalise was nearly murdered. One a conservative, the other a Republican. But we have people in this country who are dedicated to telling half the country that if Donald Trump wins an election, the country will end, the Constitution will go away, and so on and so forth. What I want to hear from all elected officials is this kind of hyperbolic extremism has consequences, and it must end.
Facts.
Immediate response of those Secret Service agents to cover the former president, to walk him off that stage. Give us your thoughts on how they handled that, and was that to a T how it should have been handled by the Secret Service?
That's right,
So
Alicia.
the cover and evacuate was done exactly according to training. I was in charge of training the president's detail. I was the one that certified lead advance agents before they did advances, when they went out there and signed off on it. But I will tell you that
This guy is important because, as you just heard him say, he was in charge of training Secret Service detail.
that response was honorable. They honored their oath. They put their bodies in the line of fire, just like they swore they would do.
Oh.
You see how fast they moved on that dais. You saw that body bunker. You saw them moving, and once they've assessed the medical condition of the president, moving into an armored vehicle to get him out of that area as quickly as possible. The shift and the individuals surrounding that dais did their job yesterday.
Notice he said one thing in particular. 92 Stag. That's right. Love it. Coming to feed, dropping bombs. Don't forget, Rand Paul was also attacked in his home and leaving an event in D.C. Yeah. So it's like you can only do that for so long, man. Without it being actual real consequences. And they did nothing. That's right, Alicia. I mean, I saw somebody in, people keep talking about how fake this was. It's like, all right, am I going to take your account for it when you might be thousands of miles away? Am I going to take an eyewitness who was on the ground And he felt like the Secret Service was watching us the whole time. You know, we're looking at them watching us through binoculars. So he felt like they had to see the guy crawling, but they may have not seen once he got to a crouch position behind a certain slope on the roof. But I'm thinking, how did this guy know about this one spot, this one hidden spot that he could get in and be out of the range of the Secret Service? Because we all saw the pictures by now. There was not a lot of places to hide. And so, yeah, man, at this point, yeah, it's only a few conclusions to have. Yeah. Yeah, so I think, you know, I mentioned earlier about the New York trial, and obviously it wasn't a good trial. A lot of people knew what was going to happened. But I said that it may have been a good thing that they may have found him guilty, because we were thinking, or it seems logical, that if he's found guilty, then they would feel like we got him by the balls, so to speak, and we can still have a little bit of control. We can still harass, maybe even detain, maybe even jail. We still are in control. And so when he got found guilty, I think a lot of people actually felt a little bit more relaxed rather than him getting found not guilty, because not guilty spelled unstoppable. But even after being found guilty, the people spoke. The people didn't buy the BS. And ironically, one of the best things, but at the same time, something that made the Democrats see a boogeyman. Something that made the Democrats start pissing their diapers. And that is, the Trump support got stronger and stronger and stronger. And they started doing the brown emoji in real time. Boo-booing. And we're not talking about just Joe Biden. And so everything that people feared would happen, it happened that day. The man seemed unstoppable. And he still seems unstoppable. Will that be the last attempt? I don't know. Even though JJ said he liked Trump, he would vote for Trump. I'm going to tell on you. Hey, for anybody that JJ is trying to argue with in the feed, don't argue with him. Don't waste your time. A short while ago, he admitted that he would vote for Trump if Trump was a Democrat. So he's just a secret hater. He's mad that the Democrats are doing so horrible, and he wished that Trump would have brought that type of unity, that type of love, and that type of strength to his Democratic Party. His problem, sadly, is he's married to the Democrat Party. So those who are arguing with him, don't give him no attention. Trust me, he's a secret Trump fan. He hasn't been able to quite come out of that little closet yet. But, hey, man, come on out. It's a beautiful world out here. It's a beautiful world, my friend. You don't have to be afraid anymore. You admitted it right on here. All right. Stop making stuff up. No one said that. I don't know who. Let me see. He was guilty of being a patriot. Let me see. What else? This was said on Fox News. I didn't make it up. What statement is she talking about? All right. I noticed some of the rhetoric from the left. And it's funny how they're using keywords.
In the earlier hours.
Let's see. Where's this go?
Look at these headlines from the mainstream media.
I want to play this one more time.
What took place? The Washington Post, quote, Trump leaves post of what took.
All right. Listen to this.
Take a look at these headlines
The downplay.
from the mainstream media downplaying the severity of what took place. The Washington Post, quote, Trump leaves rally after loud noises erupt.
You hear this? This is the kind of stuff J.J. Ella likes. Well, he immediately say that is Fox News, but guess what? They are also saying, quote. There is something about that word, quote, even on the news. So you can't get out of it that way, JJ. This is the stuff you listen to. Come on, man. All right. Listen to this again. Let's play it again for JJ. Play it again for JJ.
Joe, neither is. Take a look at these headlines from the mainstream media downplaying the severity of what took place. The Washington Post, quote, Trump leaves rally after loud noises erupt. That's not a joke. Neither is this. A CNN article that was taken down reading, quote, Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally. Another article that was taken down from Forbes reading, quote, will surviving gunfire be Donald Trump's next appeal to black voters?
Joe Concha is a...
These people got jokes, man. That's the garbage you want to listen to, JJ? Are you serious? Wow. You disappoint me. Oh, my goodness. Let's hear some more.
I mean, after what we saw this weekend, Carly, Todd, what we saw that played out live in front of the world, as far as this, the former president and likely in terms of, you look at the odds, you look at the polls, future president of the United States nearly being, his head nearly shot off on live television. This should have resulted in the kind of objective, unbiased coverage the country deserved in this historic, nearly tragic moment that you saw unfold on your screen. Some outlets, however, they failed that test miserably. I mean, you look at the headlines, right? You talked about that CNN headline, but also the Associated Press, quote, Donald Trump has been escorted off the stage during a rally after loud noises ring out in the crowd. Yeah, loud noises like, gunshots, where you had Donald Trump stand up with blood on his face and on his ear 1 minute after this happened. And their initial reporting is that it was loud noises. That's what caused that. How about the New York Times? Trump hurt but safe after a shooting. No, you utter hacks. It wasn't a shooting. It was an assassination attempt. ABC News, Sunday morning, George Stephanopoulos, quote, President Trump and his supporters have contributed to this violent rhetoric as well. And then Martha Raddatz says, absolutely, George. And let's remember January 6th. I mean, this is 31 flavors of absolute stupidity. Meanwhile, Joe Biden, the president, said there should be a, quote, bullseye on Donald Trump, unquote. He said that on July 8th, 1 week before this happened. He spoke last night, boilerplate comment.
Yeah. I mean, that's normal. Yeah. Where's Stag at? Where is... Okay. Wake up, America. That's what my brother John Box said. Yeah, a lot of information coming out. Like I said, my job kind of allows me to do a lot of listening and recording and studying and stuff like that. So I just try to bring it to you for those that may not have time. Yes, indeed. Got to get up early though. What? It's 8:25. Oh no, I gotta go for real. My good people, God is good. Look at God. Whether my brother J.J. Ella like it or not, I love you, good brother. You got to get unmarried to that Democrat Party, my brother. And go ahead, let it out. I'm going to pray. Go on pray. Go on pray about it tonight that you may feel stronger and that you may embrace what you admitted tonight. And that is, you like Trump. You just are upset that he's for the Republican Party. And you would vote for him. That is what you said. All right. I'm going to end with that. Yep. We are out of here. God is good. Peace. I bid you good night, good people. Like and follow on the YouTube and subscribe more than anything. That's what it is. We are out of here. God is awesome. Oh, snap. My bad.